Okay. So welcome everyone that is on here right now. What we want to do is to go over real quickly without taking much of your time the pairs we're trading this week. So if you can see the right side of my screen, I have 12 pairs already marked up for the week. GBP USD, I already marked this up. USD CAD, Bitcoin, AUD JPY, one second, please. AUD JPY, USD CHF, USD ZAR, all of this pairs, US oil, and then the USD and the Mexican peso. So let me go back to if at any point in time you cannot see my screen or you find something a little bit clumsy or whatever, please let me know. You can do that by sending me a message directly on Telegram so I can see it. Hello. So yeah, let's just continue. So when I want to mark up my chart, so let's start with GBP USD. When I want to mark up my chart, the very first thing I do is this. It's either I mark it up on TradingView or MT4. But because I'm into all these educational, like I'm trying to give people the information and educate people, I prefer to go on TradingView. So if you don't have TradingView, I would encourage you to sign up for the free plan, get access to the tools. You see all the way up here, you see I use Renko, I use Aiken, I use the normal candle. So let me take all of this yama things off. Okay, so if you want to write this down, the three main, my own system is this. I trade with trend line, I use the pivots, high and low, and I also use the Fibonacci. So if you don't know about Fibonacci, you can go make a little bit of research. Just Google it. There's so much information around it. And trend line, of course, that's as popular as anything. And I use the tool on TradingView, pivot, high and low. So if you see all these white spots, this white thing here, this white thing here, this white thing here, all these whites, those are pivot points. This is a pivot high, this is a pivot low. So let's go all the way back to monthly where I start my markup. So let's say I've not marked anything at all. And I say, oh, cool. Let me check out this pair. GBP USD waiting there now. Let's see. The first thing I do is I take it all the way to the monthly time frame. I want to see everything that has happened to this pair from the very beginning. So when I'm on monthly, I check the whole frame. This is the highest price I've been. Can everyone see that? And of course, this is the lowest price I've been ever for GBP USD. So the last time GBP USD came to its low point was what? Was around October, November of 2016. This is where we are right now. This is where we are right now. 1.32009. Do we all get that up until now? You can drop that in the chat. I will check it. So we're in 1.32009 at the moment. Price of GBP USD started at around 1.58. So what it did is this. Let me get my arrow. And if you need where to find all these things, let me know. So from this point here, let me take off these magnets. Okay. So from this point here, price came here. From there, came here. How many people can see all this? From here, came here. From here, came down here, right? From here, came up here, down here, up here, down here now, right? And then it's somewhere here. So far, can we see this? If we can, drop a message. So if you already see this pattern that the price had moved, so in a way, already this looks like a little bit of head and shoulder. But that's not what we're not going over head and shoulders or patterns. What we want to focus on today is how to read the charts and how to know when to exit and enter a trade. So there's going to be so much practice you have to do. But the first thing ever is, can you at least see the present direction on the chart? Can you at least see that, oh, when you look at the chart, when I look at this chart, is it going up or down? Okay, so let me take off this drawing. So let me take it all off again. So like I said, I use trend line, I use the pivot high and the pivot low, and I use Fibonacci. So let's see how all this thing goes. I'm already on the monthly chart. Let me bring out my trend line. From the highest point price at been, which is 2.11612, I'm trying to draw a trend line now. I bring my line, I connect it to this already, these other high points, this other pivot high, which is the lower low. We're in a downward trend. So in a downward trend, I'll go up now to show you what a downward trend looks like. So I try to connect it. I already see that on a monthly time frame. Did you see how I connected this trend line, guys? I connected it from the previous high, the very highest high it's been, to the last high pivot point that I see, which is right here. If you have trading view on right now, just enable, go to tools, go to indicators, and then add pivot points high low. Can you see it? This is the tool right here, pivot points high and low. Okay, so we draw this trend line, connects with this. The second thing I'm going to do is this. Already I can tell that this is a downward trend, right? I'll show you something real quick, guys. So to pick, to confirm whether, oh, okay, is it going to go up? Is it going to come down? What's it going to do? That's why this trend line is there. Let's go up. Let's say I have a blank system. If something goes up, right, down here, does something like this, how many people know that this is like an uptrend? Of course it is, because it's going up. And what price does is this. It's going to go up, pull back, and then continue, then pull back. I'm sure you must have heard all this pull back. Now what most traders use is, remember I said high points. Now, let's say I want to draw my trend line, right? I want to know, okay, is it going up? I connect this high point right here to this high point right here. I sort of draw a trend to see, okay, how do I know what's going on? So I draw a trend line like this because it's an uptrend. Now I bring out something called Fibonacci. Fibonacci is a tool. You can pick it up if you're using TradingView. Just go on the side. You see all of this. People use Pitchfork, all this can. People use the Fibs cycle, the spiral. But all I use is Fib retracement and trend-based Fib extension. Okay, so I got my Fib right there. All right. So you put the Fib from the low point here to the high point you went to. Where do you think it might come down to? There's something called golden ratio. So the golden ratio is assume that when it goes up that way, if it's going to pull back, it should pull back to 0.382, then 0.5, 0.618, which is the golden ratio. So most traders will expect that if it's going to pull back, it should pull back to this level right here. So if you want to enter the trade, if you're entering for a pullback, you're waiting for it to come down here. But if you're entering for the continuation, so when you wait here and you see that it's approaching, then you put your buy and then you take this up. So let's go back to the chart. Actually, before I go back to the chart, let me show you what it looks like in a downward trend. So a downward trend will look somewhat like this. It's coming down, right? Oh, it pulls back, okay? And then it goes down again. It pulls back, and then it goes down again. This is a downward trend. If I want to pick, let's say this is a channel, right? Let's say this is the previous high point right here, and then this other high point right here. I'm going to say that if this thing is going to pull back from this point, if it's going to pull back, if it doesn't break this my trend line, then I will continue for a sell downward. If it breaks down my trend line, if it breaks this trend line here, I'll be looking for a trend reversal, and we're going up. If it breaks this white trend line for a downward trend, okay. All right, so back to our chart. So I go to the monthly, and on the monthly, remember, let's draw our trend line up here. Please let me know, these things are pretty simple. They're pretty simple. They just take consistency. They take time of practice, but they are simple. People will make this thing look so clumsy, and the truth is, not a single person gets it right the entire time. So what you want to do is find what works for you and stick to it. You don't need to look around. You don't need to just know that nobody gets it right the entire time. So we've drawn our trend line. Now we can tell this is a downtrend. Bring out Fibonacci from up here to this present low. From up here to this present low. What did price do? It went up. How many people can see that it went up from here? From here, it went up here, came down here, went up, came down, and eventually up here. So now let me mark this place that it came to. Remember I said when it comes down, please go ahead. Hello? If you have a question, just let me know. I'll stop and then I'll answer your question. So this is where it pulled back to. Let me draw like a little bit of a zone around there. That price came from this up to this down, made a high, first made a higher, this is the low point, made a high, made a lower, made a higher low, and then made another higher high. So this is showing that, okay, we're expecting it to pull back to where? 0.618. But it has passed 0.5, which is the half retracement. So if it doesn't break here, we'll be looking at, the downtrend is still continuing. Now let me bring back that Fibonacci. Let me bring back this. So from this point that price came here, you see I didn't break this line, this thing that I drew here. It didn't break it. Because it didn't break it, let's continue our downtrend. Bring back the Fibonacci. Put it here. From this point, did price go back? Price went up. Where did it get to? Let's see. Around half. You see the 0.5? Around half retracement again. Okay? And then what did price do? It didn't break it and then went down. Okay? Let's continue. Can you guys see some sort of trend already? Now let's continue by just using Fibonacci, pivot point high low, and trend line. So now, from this place that it didn't break, bring your Fibonacci, put it to the low point, okay? Where did price go to? 0.618, the golden ratio. And what happened here? Price did not break this trend line. So what are we looking for? Hold on. So let me draw this zone, 0.618 right here. So from up here, price came down, couldn't break this 0.618 and came down right here. So what we'll be looking for by going off the monthly time frame is this. If this trend line gets broken and this my resistance gets broken, then we'll be looking at continuing up towards the zone. So how then do we know this? We cannot judge off the monthly time frame. I'm just using the monthly time frame to give us like a perspective. Before you can do anything, let me take it off. Let's go to, we already know that this is a downtrend. Let's go to the weekly. On the weekly, what can you see? You see that on the weekly, it looks different already. Price did what on the weekly? Came from up here, down here, right? Down here. From down here, price did what? Came up here. From up here, price did what? Came down here, and then price is what? Price is right here. Let's say we go by our Fibonacci, right? Let's bring our Fibonacci from here, from this point, up onto here. Where did price come up to here? Can you guys see it? 0.618. So from this point, we expect two things. Remember on the monthly time frame, I said we're expecting that it will break the 0.618 upwards. If at some point all these things I'm saying look like, ooh, I don't understand, then you probably still have a little bit of lecture to you. But I'll do my best to try and make us understand this. Okay. So if you put the Fibonacci from up here, down here, it retraced to 6.18. Because this is like a downward trend, what are we going to be looking for? We would say, okay, it didn't break here, then we should be looking for, it didn't break here, then we should be looking for a continuation of a downtrend. But we can't just go off that and be like, oh, the other things we're going to look at. We're going to look at the candlesticks pattern. We're going to look at what kind of candle it is. We're going to look at what else is happening on a lower time frame. But we already see this. The price of GBP USD is just around the resistance, this 0.618 resistance from the previous high of April 2018 on the weekly time frame. Let me know if you're following so far. So let's remove drawing tools. When you go back, let's draw a trend line. First thing, draw your trend line from the pivot point. These are pivot high right here. You see the next pivot high. Okay? So put it. This is my trend line on the weekly. Draw my trend line on the weekly. I think on MP4, if you're trading on MP4, you should have what's it called? You should have the pivot point. So you draw this. When you draw your trend line, bring out your Fibonacci. Okay? And then boom. If you did this alone, let's say for example, I'm going to go back a little bit in time, okay? I'm going to go back a little bit in time. Let me see if I can. Oh, I don't think I can do the bar replay yet. But yeah, I was going to go back. Let's say we can't see. Let's say all we see is this part right here. And you just see price around here. If you put your Fibonacci from up here to down here, anticipating that it will get to 0.618, you would have precisely caught all of this move. Let me put that back. If all you did to mark GBP USD was, let me draw my trend line, boom, let me put my Fibonacci from here to here, you would have caught this entire up movement, all these up movements. You would have caught all of this movement without any other additional tool. And that's why this is so powerful. Okay, so that's on the weekly. Let's go back to our the daily. Let's go to the daily. So on the daily, what can we see? If you notice, all the while we've seen that it's coming down. It's coming down. But on the daily, what do we see? Let me see. Okay, 1 second. One second, guys. All right. So on a daily perspective, we see that it's going up. How do we know it's going up? Let me show you. From down here, price came here, right? From here, price came down here. From here, price came here, broke this high, and made a higher high. From here, came down. From here, came up here. It's in a general uptrend. But if you check the weekly, right? On a weekly, what did it look like? Take it back. On a weekly, came down and pulled back. So that up we're staying in, hold on. So this place right here, this up movement that you see here, this up movement is what we're seeing on the daily. This up movement from here is what's showing here on the daily. It's this from here, this up movement here. Who's drawing on my chart? This up movement from here to here is what we see on that daily time frame. So I'm going to get to, so let's remove that. So like I said, the first thing we do is we draw, we connect. In this case, we want to know if it's going to go down or if it's going to continue up, right? So connect the first pivot point you see. So you can see this pivot low here, and this low point here. So we know that if this thing is going to come down at all, we want it to first break this trend line on a daily time frame. Generally, we see that this is a pullback. This is a pullback. This whole up movement itself is a pullback. Let me see something. I think I have a message. Okay. So we see that this is a pullback. The next thing we want to do is okay. Let me go back to this weekly. On the weekly, I draw my fibs. I put my zone around this 0.618. Let me take it back to my daily. So I know that, okay, if this thing crosses this brown line upwards, then we'll continue our uptrend. If it goes above this thing, then we'll continue up. Other than that, we should break. If we break this line, then we'll be coming down. So from down here to here, if we break this line, we'll be coming down to this 618, this golden ratio here. So for this week, going by the daily time frame, what I'll be looking at is, okay, where is price right now? Is it going to go up? Is it going to come down? So if it breaks line here, we're looking for down. If it breaks this here, we're looking for a continuation of uptrend. But before we get to that conclusion too, we want to go a little bit lower. I want to go a little bit lower. So you see how already I have a zone. You see how already I have a zone. I have from here to here, like a little range. Now let's go to the 4-hour time frame. Good. So on the 4-hour time frame, we're going to have a clearer view of what's going on. So let me delete this line and draw another one to be more effective. Bring out your trend line, okay, from the previous low to this low to C to get a support. This will give you a support. Good. And then from here, bring it down here. And then from the last eye point, connect it to this next eye point and anticipate where you think GBP USD might want to get to. So now let me show you one thing. All right, good. So based on this, we see that from this point here, price came down. Just look from here, price came here, touched the trend line here, okay? From this point came down here, tested this trend line again. When it got here, what did price do? It broke out of this. You see that long candle? When it broke this white trend line here, this white trend line, it busted out. So we're looking at it to touch this. If it touches this, it pull back to somewhere here, okay? And then price will continue up. So that's kind of like our forecast for now. But let me delete all that. We're in a 4-hour. Let's see. Am I making any sense so far, guys?
Yeah, move on.
Okay, good. Good. Okay, so now, bring your Fibs again. We've drawn this trend line. We've gotten a zone up here. We already have, it broke out of this. It's coming up. Where do you think it might want to come to? It might want to cover this little space here and then retrace. If it's going to retrace, we're going to see how far it's going to retrace. But let's see. Bring your Fibs from this eye point. You're going to see what I'm talking about. Put it down here. Where did price get to from this low point? 618. If you didn't see all this part, let me draw. Let's say all of this part was covered. Let's say all this part was covered. Up until, let's say all you saw was just this part right here. You didn't see that part I covered in gold. Let's say all you saw was just, okay, price went down. Where do you think it might want to get to? Let's say all you saw was just this. Okay? And you didn't know. All you did was, let me draw my Fibonacci. You bring your Fibonacci. Remember, we are not seeing all the parts in the future from 26 December. So you bring your Fibonacci. You're like, oh, it just came to a zone. Okay, cool. Where's the low point? It broke this previous low in the future. It came to this low point. My pivot high has already labeled my low point. My pivot has labeled my high point. So high to low, boom, put it here. From this your high point here, so this is your low point. So you're expecting that from this point here, what will price do? It should come up. How far up do you think it might come? Our golden ratio is 0.618, remember? Okay, so we said it should come up to 0.618. Now let me draw a zone around 0.618. This is what we're expecting price to come to. We cannot see it into the future. Now let's see where price came to. Let's see where price came to. Let me delete this guy from there. See where exactly price came to? This 0.618. So if all you did was just, okay, cool, let me put my pivot, let me draw my trend line from this high point using pivots high and low specifically. You draw it here, you already know that it's probably going to want to touch this trend line and use your Fibonacci. You would have cut all this entire move instantly. You would have cut this entire move between 23rd of December up until what, 31st of January. So in a week, you would have made yourself over, this is what, 290, this is about over 300 pips in about 5 days, just off trend line, Fibonacci, pivots, point high low, and getting a zone. Let's continue with our markup. We want to get what we're doing for GBP USD this week, because the market is going to open pretty soon. So you pull back up until here. We already see that's the 0.61. It came back up until here. For that, we cut that trade. So now it's beginning a downtrend. How far do you think you might want to go to? Bring your Fibonacci from here, right, up until here, 0.618. Can you see this? From this up point, where did price drop to? Look at this down. Look at this drop here. From this point here, where did price drop to? 0.618. Exactly. Let me draw that zone out for you guys. This zone right here. I'm gonna change that. It's acting up. So this zone right here. This zone right here. Now let me delete this out. You see it? Let me take this one off too. Okay. So we see that from down here, it went all the way up. We're saying, okay, it has gotten to this zone. It didn't break it, so it will come down. Where will it come down to? We have our 0.618 again. Boom. Where did it come to? Right there. What did it do? Price bounced right off. Let me take this off. Let me just show you how this Fibonacci works. Bring back your Fibs, right? From here, put your Fibonacci back to this place you retrace to, and then 0.618. If you went by just 0.618, would you have cut this trade? Let me mark a zone there again. Let's mark a zone there again. And mark a zone up there. Now let me delete. Oh, come on, Ife. Come on, Ife. So if you took this down and you're like, oh, it didn't break this downward, it's gonna go up, and you use Fibonacci, would you have cut this up movement from here? Would you have cut this up movement from here to here? Of course, look at it. And what happened when it got there? This thing dipped. You can see this long wick. So what the long wick means is it came up there and then the sellers pushed it right under that resistance. Has it passed that resistance since then? No. So this is what we're looking at. So let me draw this zone a little bit into the future. Let me draw this zone a little bit into the future. Let me draw this zone a little bit into the future. So that zone right here is what price has broken. So we can expect that, okay, naturally because that has been broken, naturally because that is about the 0.618 for the previous high it had been, right? So we're expecting, okay, maybe price, if price leaves here, price should be coming where? So on the 4-hour chart, I'm thinking if price leaves this place, which it has, it should be coming somewhere here. So this is going to be around my first test, somewhere here will be my first target for G. Let's go mark it in a 1 hour. So this is what I'm looking at. So I'm looking at GU to be around 3 to about 80 more pips. So I'm looking at 80 more pips movement for GBP USD, right? So let's see it in 1 hour chart. Let's see it in a 1 hour chart. See what's happening in this zone. Can you guys see what's happening in this zone right here? It broke this thing and then came back. And then we have this big candle, this big candle that looks like an engulfing candle. It's an engulfing candle. Of course, it looks like a little bit of a doji because of this, what's it called, the wicks and stuff. But it's literally swallowed up this red candle. So which means that the buy momentum is pretty high. So what I'll be looking at is this. I'll be looking for this red candle to come here. If this red candle does not close within the first few hours of Sunday opening, right? If it doesn't close and if we don't have enough volume, I will know that, okay, let me wait and see when we have enough volume. If it doesn't break here, then that will be my confirmation that, okay, we have left this zone here. That means we have left this zone here. This is my zone. This buy here to this buy here. And what we're looking for? We're looking for the next zone, which would be up here. If it breaks this up zone, then we'll be looking for right here. Does any of that make sense? So there is no specific harmonic pattern. There is no specific crab. There's no butterfly. This is just you going by trend lines. You going by pivot high, low. You going by Fibonacci. Nothing else other than that. And you would have predicted some really, really good trades. Let me go over this thing again for those that probably don't understand. I'm going to clear it up. I'm going to clear everything. I go to the monthly. Okay. Let me hide all the tools that I use so it doesn't confuse you guys. Okay, cool. So now I've hidden everything. So your chart came this way, all black. We're in the monthly time frame. The first thing I do, I want to know my pivot points. Okay, so I see my pivot points. The next thing I do, my trend line. So I draw firstly from the previous high. I won't even say high, the previous pivot point. But in this case, it's high. The previous high to the next high, which is going to be a lower high, which proves to us that it's a downtrend. On a monthly perspective, already I see that, oh, this thing had touched my trend line, broke it up a little bit, came back to retest the trend line, and closed above my trend line. So which means that we're looking for a potential, just from the monthly, we're looking for up. That was meant to be an arrow. We're looking for up there. Another reason why I know that, bring out my Fibonacci. My Fibonacci comes from this point to this point here. We have my 0.618. So if this breaks here, what we're looking for, let's get this here, from here to here, from here to here. All these zones marked. Okay? Now let me go to, I already see downtrend. Let me go to the weekly. I'm going to be pretty fast now. So on the weekly, I draw another trend line, okay, from my previous high. So this is my next high right there. So this next high, but I'm going to draw it out. So on the weekly time frame, what do we see? I see that, okay, cool. Price has broken this trend line. It broke it right here. This green line you see, this green candle, broke it here, and then went to the next one, broke it, we tested it, and it's on its way up. Bring out my Fibonacci. Let's see what's going on. Okay, so on the weekly, we're already at my 0.618 golden ratio. Let me draw my zone. I draw my zone. So when I use the triangle thing to draw the zone, by the way. So I draw my zone. I draw my zone right there. So that's going to be my resistance. So anything above this zone I've drawn on a weekly, anything above this zone I've drawn, anything above this line here, we're looking bullish. That means we've crossed this 6.8. Where do you think we might want to get to next? 0.786. Anything above that, we're looking up. But if it breaks this, then we have a strong feeling that, oh, okay, we might be riding up. Okay, so that's on a weekly. On a weekly. So let's take it to the daily. All I'm doing is trend line, zone, Fibonacci, pivot points, high, low. So on the daily perspective, remember we want to connect this point, the low, to the next low, which in this case is an higher or a higher low. So a higher low means that we're riding up. And what happens then? Price has broken, price came down, came up here, touched this trend line that I drew. I couldn't break it downward. And what's price doing? It shots all the way up. How far up is price gonna go? How far up is price gonna go? Let me draw, let's see. So for the uptrend, okay. So if price breaks this white line here, where do you think it's gonna come to? 0.618. That's if price breaks this. Let me make it dotted so you guys can see it. Okay, so if it breaks this dash thing, where will it come to? I'll be anticipating that it will come. I see your messages. I'll be expecting that if it breaks down here, it will come towards this my zone. 618. Just by Fibonacci. Just by Fibonacci. But experience will teach you a few more things to look out for, but by Fibonacci alone. So how high up will this thing go? How high up will this thing go? From this point, it was coming down. And then from here, it stopped going down and decided it's going to go up. What did it do? It went to this 0.618 here. I hope you guys are seeing it. I hope you're just seeing the power of Fibonacci. It went to 0.618.
Yeah, well, we
From up here, came down here, and the green shot pull up onto 0.618 here. When it got to that 0.618, what did it do? What did it do? What did it do? Price came down. You would think that, okay, now that it's coming down, let me see how far down it's going to go. You pick from this up here to the last up it went to. Let me delete this one off it. From this point here, came up. If you already took that, okay, cool, I'm going to take up onto 0.618. See how instantly you would have made your profits. From here, down to 0.618. And what did price do when it got there? It went up and then shot back down. So here is like, okay, we're going to wait. And then when it got here, it went back up, started this uptrend. But what did price did not? Price has not broken this resistance here. So before we take in a trade on a daily frame now, we'll be looking for, okay, cool. Let price break here first, and then we'll buy here. Okay. Now I'm gonna put a little zone here. Put a zone right here. Let's put a zone right there. All right, good. Let's keep riding. So we take it back to what? To the 4 hours. So the 4 hours is really where I mark up my chart. So whatever I pick on my 4-hour time frame is what I would use to set up my trade for the week. Because for an execution on 4-hour time frame, it could take up to 1 week for a trade to be fully executed on. And for me, that saves me time because I don't want to be on the chart every time. Charting and trading takes time for a fact. and I don't want to be on my chart the whole time. There's so many emotions involved. I don't want to trade too long, so I don't close my trades too early, or close a trade that is going good. I re-enter thinking, oh, I'm making more money, and then that's when it's to come back. So I don't do all that. I just mark it up for my 4 hours. And so on the 4 hours, let's go. Draw my trend line. Okay. I'll make that solid again, guys. Draw my trend line from here to the next point on my pivots. I stretch it out. I'm anticipating the third touch. So the third touch, I'm believing that there might be a little bit of consolidation, and then boom, it's a touch here. But because it's so close to this zone here, I will probably leave it until it crosses over. If it doesn't cross over, I wouldn't trade. But I'm anticipating that, hell yeah, this thing should come and touch it again. So we should have about some good 20 to 100 pips more, ideally. But that 20 to 100 pips, me, I won't be part of it. I will just leave it because it's better that I wait for this zone to be broken and then anticipate up here than for me to think it might come up, and instead of coming up at this point, it starts to come down to retest this zone here. So we want to wait. We want to wait because if it touches this trend line, it might indeed touch this trend line. This thing is acting silly today. It might indeed go up here, touch this trend line, and from there come down here before it goes up here. So I'm better off waiting for it to cross here and know that shit, it's not coming down, and then ride it up here, or wait for it to touch this thing, come down here, and then buy it up. Do you understand? So let me does this give us any better understanding though? When it comes to you just understanding the direction of the chart. One, know how the chart is moving, know how the pair is moving. Looking at this particular example, the pair is moving from up here. Let's say there's no pivot points. Let me take that pivot point thing out. Price has moved from up here. You see? Down here. From down here, price came up here. From up here, price came down here, up here, and then down here eventually, right? And then from here, what did price do? Price came here. From here, price came down. I mean, if you can see this, that's the first thing you should, looking at the chart, can you see the way it's moving? That's the first thing some people don't even know. So people will look at this chart and won't just be like, damn, it just looks so much. It just looks like, but do you actually see that it's going up, down, up, down? If you can see that, then the next thing is how far up is it going to go? How far down would it go? What do I use to know how far up or how far down it's going to go? I use my pivot points. All right. I use this EMA and the MA as well. Those are just extra confirmations. I'm not going to confuse us. I use a few other things. I mean, I use my MACD. You know, let's see. I think 1 second. For whatever reason, this thing doesn't want to load up quickly. Maybe it's my internet. Yeah, I think my internet is acting up. Let's see. Okay. All right, the account I'm using for this. So yeah, I use Awesome Oscillator, MACD, the momentum. I use the stochastic RSI. So you want to put all these things down, and volume. These are just extra confirmations. But the first thing you really need to know is the eye points. These eye points. and then you want to know when to draw your zone, and you want to know what Fibonacci is. So if you know all that alone, just by itself, you will be able to predict the market in the movement to an extent. And the more you trade, the better you will get. Okay, so let's go over. Boom, 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 boom. So this is what I see for GBP USD. So if I want to enter this trade, what we're gonna do? I think I should just give you guys what my setup will be for this precisely. So for this precisely, this is what I'm gonna do for GBP USD. Because if you look at it on the 1 hour time frame, there's already a bit of selling action. On a 4 hour time frame, we said it's almost gotten to our resistance until it's broken. So you want to see if this thing will pull back. If you want to enter this trade, this is what I want you to watch out for. If you want to enter GBP USD, so you put it up until this point here. Let me draw it out so we can see up until this point here. So if you want to enter this trade, this is what I would advise. That you wait and see if this thing is going to drop, okay? And if it's going to drop, we want it to drop to somewhere here. We want it to drop to somewhere. Oh, come on. We want it to drop to somewhere here, right? And then we open our buy. Reason is this: I don't want you to follow. You're in a better position to open a buy at this bottom, at this low point, and anticipate this huge win than for you to say, oh, let me chase this little buy, and then it comes down this much. It's smarter for you to wait and see how far it's going to retrace. If it retraces to this point here, if it doesn't break this brown thing here, then you know that has been made a support, and then we ride back up. We ride back up. And because GU moves a lot, this thing can cover this drop in a day. Like this is easy. 140 pips will cover it in a day. GBP USD is one pair that all GBP pairs really, they're one pair. So I'll be waiting for it to come down here, or I'll wait for it to break here, and then I'll ride up. I'll ride up to here. Other than that, the only thing I might want to take is a risk of selling down here. But I really wouldn't do that, because to me that's not smart. That might be a waste of money, because what if I'm expecting coming down and then it comes to this trend line and then it just breaks it up? I'll lose my money. So I'll wait for it to either break the zone up, come down here, or I buy. All right, guys. So just to round off for today, let me show us every other pair we're looking at. And let me see if I'm recording this thing, just for people that might want to pause recording now. I'm still recording. Okay, good. Okay, good. So this is all we're looking at this week. This GBP USD will cover that. Okay. USD card. For USD card, I'm looking for a buy to this point here. So we're going to buy, and it's going to look something like this. So we should be able to get some few pips. And so I'll be looking at a buy for USD card, especially if this trend line here is not broken. Okay. Let's go to Bitcoin. For Bitcoin, two things I'm looking at. One, that this uptrend continues up until here. So I'm targeting around 9,600, 9,700. If this line here is broken and this gets broken here, then I'm targeting coming back to around $9,000, about 500. So for AUD JPY, I think AUD JPY specifically will still go down some more. And for that, this is what I see. Once this brown is broken, I'm looking at a sell up onto this purple zone, up onto this purple zone. USD I'm believing that this will come down to come and test this golden ratio of 9588. So we still have about 50 pips down to take on USD. This we're going up. Okay, and yeah, I'll put all these things on the group chat, and then we can see. But I hope in a way I've been able to kind of show you guys what I kind of mark up, what I kind of see, and how I kind of get to the conclusion of these things. And I believe that if you can combine trend lines, if you can combine Fibonacci, if you can combine it with these pivot high points, you would have some really, really good success. So let me know if you have any other question you want to ask me, and let's have a good trading week. Bless you guys, and catch you later.